Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Nadex Morning Analysis. My name is Todd Rich. I'm with Nadex. I've got Brian Caprice from Keep Trading Simple. Before we jump into it, I do need to cover this quick disclaimer that trading does involve risk. Any trading you do is done at your own responsibility. And then please, uh, this is an education session. Don't construe anything Brian or I say as a buy or sell recommendation. With that, I do want to welcome Brian Caprice. Brian, there was some election news last night. There was Pfizer uh, updated their numbers and indicated that they're willing to go to the FDA for approval. I mean, it did move things around a little bit. What are you seeing in the indices this morning?
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of different things going on right now. We've seen a lot of movement since the UK opened today. A lot of minor news came out with the UK. It was all positive. So again, we've seen the pound, basically the pound versus the dollar move up. Pfizer's news came out. It's really not different than before. It was like I think 90 versus 95% now, and they're pushing forward, and it's kind of the same story that we've seen before. There are still some issues that we're not seeing. Again, it's going to take 2 to 3 months. Who's going to get it first? I know at least, again, not to give everybody all the updates in Maryland, but Maryland, we just locked down further yesterday. Particularly, nursing homes now, the staff, they now have to get tested twice a week, not just once, but twice a week. So they're ramping everything up. So, I mean, vaccine news is great, but at the end of the day, we got to see how fast things actually come in. One thing I do want to touch, because it is Wednesday, we have mentioned this all week, is today's oil inventory report. And we've seen a lot of movement. So I just want to kind of point out, this is where the European session opened today. And you can see a lot of movement. I mean, this looks like prime time. And again, this is not uncommon when you see oil inventory. Now, last time the oil inventory, if I click on this one, you can see oil inventory was a huge surplus last time, right? This time, they're also, again, expecting there to be, again, the same type of surplus, not to the same extent, but you're already seeing a surplus, and people are saying, wait, why is the market going up? I mean, additional surplus is bad. And that's entirely true. And a lot of the thinking with this is, particularly when we see early morning movement, is to think about it. If we have extra surplus, you would naturally think that the price would go down. Well, if you're going to sell something, do you want to sell it at a low price or do you want to sell it when it's a high price? And that's where it kind of goes back. So this is not an uncommon position for the market to readjust to send prices higher. Right now, it's kind of like the election, right? It's a little bit too early to call, right? It's like the night of, right? The election, or I'm sorry, the election. The oil inventory report is coming in at 10:30. We're about an hour and a half from that right now, so it's a little bit too early to be able to say, hey, listen, this is a level, this is a level. What I am seeing is we have two different small levels on here. Again, back up into this, the 23.6, and then again, one that's a little bit lower down here, close to the 50% mark. There are two levels at 42.25 and then 41.25. I think are both, if we can get around those levels around the 10:30, there can be whether a shorter duration contract.
Uh-oh, I think we just lost you a little bit on your voice. I think your internet connection's down. All right, well, we wait and see if we can get Brian back. I do see what he's looking at, so let's go ahead and jump over to the Nadex platform. I'm just going to take a quick peek here while Brian sorts through his little technical issue. But right, we were looking at this level up above, just up above 42, we're seeing some resistance. Brian was looking at a lower level down here, just around 41. Down here as some support. Looking at some of these knockout contracts, I'm not sure there's a knockout here that might be compelling, but you could take a look at it and consider trading around those levels. Might be, maybe a little better suited. Let's take a quick peek over at some of these call spreads, just to take a peek. I mean, there might be something in here too. I guess you'd have to, again, the levels are on here, and you'd have to play around. I think, what Brian was mentioning, maybe a little shorter term contract in the binary options might make a little bit more sense. And let's just take a quick peek at look at the daily crude oil binary options. And when that inventory report comes out in about an hour and a half, if you do see some movement, there could be something that's interesting here in the knockouts. Again, there's those levels up above up here just above 42, and this level down below just around, just above 41. The probabilities will be bouncing around once those reports come out. And yeah, I guess definitely taking a look at some of these binary options could become a compelling issue. These probabilities will definitely move around, and you might be able to find an opportunity to trade around that, particularly as that inventory oil comes back in. I know Brian's trying to come back in. Yeah, we did lose him. I'm going to, let's just take another peek at oil here while we're here. One thing I like to do is sometimes people wonder where we get some of these levels from. I mean, Brian's looking. I'm going to open this up to a little bit of a longer chart. Let's go to an hour. Oh, hold on. I might have him coming back in. No. And I'm just going to put on some, and let's move away from from that particular contract. I'm actually going to draw some Fibonacci's on here. Easy things to draw. We see that it's been in a bit of an uptrend, so I'm going to start down the lower left, go to the upper right, drag it over, and then Brian did have those levels where let's drop those. I think I saved the layout. Let's apply the Nov 18 layout. There we go. So yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? Here, these are Brian's seeing price action levels that don't necessarily sync up with some of the Fibonacci levels, but that's okay. But it's nice for you to be able to see a little bit of show and tell how we move around the platform, how we are able to use some of our drawing tools and other technical indicators to identify opportunities on the chart. Brian's price action levels definitely kind of cool. To help you around oil. And with that, I think today's going to be a little bit of an abbreviated session. Not a lot going on, kind of quiet in the markets. And before I wrap it up, let me just switch over real quickly. I do like, and just in case you're interested in reaching out to either Nadex or to Brian. There we go. Yeah, you can reach out to Nadex, customer service at nadex.com. Please email us. You got any questions, concerns about our markets, about your account? Follow us on social media. Brian, we're doing these analysis every morning, and clearly we have a little technical hiccup today, but we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you have any questions for Brian, you can reach him at support@keeptradingsimple.com. With that, want to thank you for joining us this morning, and keep an eye on those markets, and hopefully we'll have you back tomorrow. Good luck in the markets, everyone. Thanks.